Hello everybody! I'm ManicMina and welcome back to another update on the development and progress of PokeForce, an upcoming Pokemon MMO unlike any other. In the summer demo, we had a showcase of the updates in the game, but also some of the skills being implemented, namely the foraging, the mining, and the farming skills. For those of you who don't know or are new here, PokeForce is an upcoming Pokemon MMO that focuses on the first two gens, at least for now, and has expanded how we think about those places. The devs are working hard to include things like skills, farming, crafting, quest systems, better battle engines, PvP, and brand new stories for a fully immersive Pokemon world. At this time, it is in the beta stages, but the developers are constantly working hard to implement these fantastic ideas and create the very best Pokemon MMO there is out there. It has been announced that the next demo will be on April 29th of 2025. Though the full details of the spring demo announcement won't be made until closer to that date, we do know a few changes and things the developers have been working hard on by checking out the PokeForce Development Diary, posted on the PokeForce website. In this log, Alicia goes in depth with changes that they have made and new additions. She also mentions how much the feedback from previous demos has helped the development team, so thank you very much, everyone. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the changes that have been made. First, when loading up the PokeForce demo, there was a loading bar and delay as the game loaded all the assets it needed for starting areas and the game overall. This wasn't a super long wait before, but with the update that's been made, it's now been condensed. This means less loading time and a reduction on the memory usage to pull the needed asset. The login splash screen will feature the development company's logo and faster loading times. It also has streamlined the process of loading, adding ROMs to make it more new player friendly. Animations, game logo, terms of service, a forgot password option, and backend codes have all been improved and added for a much more polished look and feel. Various buttons were also added for ease of access, such as ROM folders, settings, and the viewing credits. Make sure to check out those credits. You might see my name there. Next, we're going to look at some of the UI changes and enhancements. I covered a lot of the UI improvements that they have been working on in my last video, which was about the State of the Game update. For a more in-depth look at the previous mentioned changes, please check out that video. The developers really wanted their UI design to be unique, but not confusing. They made updates to make things easier to read, improve controls for keyboard and controllers, and store options. This would include the deposit and withdrawal options previously seen to provide more clarity on whether you are depositing or withdrawing items. Updates have also been made to the Pokemon Party summary screen, making it more concise and comfortable to manage your Pokemon. The chat box also got some updates. Since the last demo, they have made vast improvements to the chat box by adding options to change the font size, change the language channel, toggle flag icons, or just hide the chat box while you're playing. As stated in the last video, the action bar has been rehauled and improved. They have added button indicators to show which row of your bag you're on. You can click things in your action bar to use them, which sub-options for things like potions shows up. The number keys can be hotkeyed for the action bar. Visual updates on the bar itself, as well as the size of the items and amounts, have been added. Tooltips to items, such as potions having a description, has been added, and an animation when switching the bars will now show up, and the ability to drag and drop items onto or from your action bar. These are all very exciting. The main menu has also received a visual overhaul with the existing tab container node that GDOT, the engine used to make the game, provides. There's also been improvements made to the controller functionality on the main menu. The bag tab has been updated and will now include an option to view pouches, which is an option for bag updates that we may get later. Updates to the general containers, which would be inventory, bank, shipping containers, etc., have been made, which should fix a memory leak issue the team was experiencing. The Options tab has been vastly updated with separate tabs for game, chat, audio, and graphics. New customization options have been added for a better experience and player comfort. These include a field of view/zoom, frames per second limits, and UI scaling options. Toggable features such as tool placement indicators, wild overworld level indicators, and more have been added as an option. These level indicators would include overworld encounters if they are above average level of your party, ranging from safe, caution, to dangerous. We can see an example here. The Party tab has been added to remove the confirmation screen that would show up when clicking a Pokemon. Now, when you select a Pokemon, it will go straight to the summary screen without a confirmation step. Improvements have been made for rearranging Pokemon, and animations have been added for when you're hovering over party slots. I covered a lot of the HUD updates in my last video, but as a refresher and some new information, I'll go over it here. The HUD has been updated to include a lot of support, like switching themes, a basic info panel that replaces the debug text previously seen that had information like money, current time of day, weather, and the location in the game. Dialogues have received some changes to the options available. Font legibility has been updated across different UI scaling types, and the skill progress bar has been updated to show how much experience you've gained in a single action versus how much more you need to level up. Of course, an awesome level up animation has also been added. These are just some of the updates and changes that have been made across the UI to enhance gameplay and player support. Make sure to join the official Discord for PokeForce and subscribe to this channel to never miss out on an update for more information on the upcoming demo. I'll have a link below for the official Discord. Moving on, we're going to be going more in depth with some of the changes and additions to the game engine. Overall gameplay has been radically enhanced with the UI fixes, but also the polishing touches they have made to the game engine and backend coding. These general improvements and bug fixes will give the game a much smoother feel when playing. Chunks and tile set loading has been changed to a sub-thread loading to ensure the main thread isn't blocked, which solves the hitching error when traveling. Tile sets now also load faster in general since they use less memory. Warps, which are when a player goes from one map to another, specifically indoors or outdoors, has been sped up, taking less time to load, and now a door animation or corresponding type of warp to that location has been added. Notifications will now be given whenever a new piece of the map loads. Issues where chunks would overlay each other, as well as other performance issues, have been fixed. Tile data detection, which is information from a specific tile, has been sped up and should give them performance boosts. There's been some massive changes and improvements to mining and how the nodes spawn, and I know you guys love the mining of this game. Nodes such as boulders, as well as trees, and the rock smash ability are now reset on map switches. Issues where nodes would reset before they were supposed to has been fixed. Forging nodes, pickables in general, have also received a massive rework, though the devs don't want to ruin all the hunting fun, so they're keeping the details for players to find out themselves. I look forward to see how they've changed it. Previously, when a character would walk into a solid object such as a wall, it would simply stop. However, this has been fixed to be more like the mainline games where the walking animation continues until you release the key. I do think it's a cute little nod to the main games. A run toggle button has been added to keep the character running until it changes via toggle or switched out due to forced movement flags. Some of these could be found in new tiles that have been added, such as rocky, sandy, or mud tiles. Support was also added for diagonal stairway movement, which could possibly affect the character's movement speed as well. I don't know too much because I haven't played since these changes, but I'm really looking forward to see what kind of effects these new tiles, such as the rocky or sandy areas or even mud areas, create whenever you're going through these new maps. I love the little details that they add. The issue where wild encounter tile data checks were not performed when jumping down from ledges has also been fixed. Support has been added for what the devs are calling precise collision, which is a thin line polygon of collision that allows fine-tuning in certain areas. Previously, they relied on full tile collision. While this is still used, the new support will give greater control over map design. It will also give characters more precision when moving around maps. For all you people who speed through the game really quickly and then don't want to have to fight the low-level mons, repels have now been added to the game and will have a counter in the buff UI. Moving on to player animations and customizations, the team has gone over the top. Huge shout out to Kinoxi, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, on the staff team who took on the huge task of character sprites. We all look forward to seeing all the beautiful artwork you did, and thank you so much. With character sprites finished up, they were able to move to adding various animations for the characters, such as when using the tools. This gives the game a much more immersive feel as your character is actually doing things. Clothing options have officially been added to the game. The team has started on the boutique UI, which is where you can change your clothes, appearance, and cosmetics in a nice interface. Trainer card sprites have had more support added, which is exciting. I can't wait to see all the different options. The memory usage for loading customization cosmetic sprites has also received massive optimization. With all clothing options added to the game, I'm so excited to see what options are available and the different customizations we will be able to make. Moving on to the controls. The interact key, E, and spacebar have now been combined so you can use either for continuing dialogue, interacting with NPCs, interacting with nodes as long as the correct tool is selected, etc. Various issues with holding down interact keys has been fixed, along with various controller issues that were affecting certain UIs. You will now be able to interact with water, starting with using rafts, boats, and surf. With this update, tools will also be able to be used while on the raft. I'm not sure if anyone else experienced it, but I know during the summer demo, I wasn't able to type in the chat whenever my controller was plugged up, and I'm sure that they have that fixed. So lots of changes, and they have been so good at looking at all the feedback that everyone gave, as well as updating things. Let's look at some of the general bugs and fixes, as well as the additions that they have added since the summer demo. A new in-house map export tool is now being used and has helped the team add over 50 new maps. That's huge! In the last few demos, there was an issue with people logging in during server updates just to be logged out a few minutes later. However, this has been resolved by a timer showing on the screen, as well as the inability to log in when this timer is below 2 minutes. Entity synchronization, which is updating players, NPCs, nodes, etc., has received some attention and updates, which should make it faster and more reliable. In the final notes, they mentioned that the developer blogs may be more frequent in the future so that they can share what's going on behind the scenes with the highly anticipated PokeForce game. They have spent a lot of time polishing all the parts of the game to make sure it all works smoothly and plays amazingly, but now they are ready to keep moving forward into content development. There are so many different aspects of the game, which is one reason why it has the most potential to be the best Pokemon MMO ever. Not only that, it has an amazing development team behind it, but this also means that there's a ton of work the team is constantly having to do. Alicia does mention that one exciting thing in the development works is their battle engine, which is being led by Benun. Again, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. Huge shout out and thank you to you. This concludes all the information we have at this time. Though I covered a good portion of the blog post, I still would encourage everyone to go check it out on the PokeForce website and leave a comment to thank all the hardworking staff. They have all been working so very hard to make sure this game is a masterpiece, and they are all absolutely phenomenal. Thank you to the entire team at RuneForce Studios, all the beta testers, and to you, the players who eagerly await to return to this amazing game. I thank you so much for watching and look forward to the next update, which will probably be in April. Let me know what additions or changes you are most excited to see. For me, I'm crazy excited to see all the cosmetics and getting back into trying out the new skills. Well, that's all for now. I'll catch you next time. Bye!